Hey YouTube, this is Sean here with the Wickquidity channel. Just wanted to go over our first trade review for the channel. This is a trade that I did take today. This is Friday, January 31st, 2025. So here we have on the screen is my trading view. This is how I keep my chart set up on this like little 3-time frame split here. This is the futures market for gold. I have a 15-minute chart here in the top left, a 5-minute chart, and then a 30-second chart. I typically trade really low time frames. Allows me to get in and out of trades most of the time within 15-20 minutes. Most of the time. Sometimes a little longer, but that's generally the time frame I can be in and out of the trade. This gives me the opportunity to trade, multiple good trades a day, to be in and out of a trade before news comes along or before a market closes, things of that nature. Now, these strategies, these trade methodology does work on pretty much any time frame for any asset class you would like to trade. You just have to kind of use what I'm going to show you here as a general template for how to move it over to whatever time frames and stuff that you like to trade. So, firstly, like I said, I've got a 15-second chart, I've got a 5-minute chart, and I've got a 30-second chart. Now, so just for, kind of clarification's sake, I use the 15-minute chart as my overall higher time frame for trend direction typically. The 5-minute chart is where I look for, here in the top right, I guess you would say my setups, the areas, zones, supply and demand, things of that nature that I want to trade out of back into the direction of the overall trend, which is my 15-minute trend. And then typically I use this bottom chart, which normally stays on a 30-second chart. Occasionally I'll drop it to the 15-minute. Occasionally I'll bring it up to the 1-minute, just kind of depending on what the price action is looking like and which time frame gives me better clarity on what I'm looking at. So that is my 3 time frame setup. And then occasionally, depending on which asset I am trading at the moment, and what I think about it and how I've kind of assigned it a risk profile in my head. If I enter a trade on, let's say, a 1-minute entry, I may drop it down to a 15-second or a 5-second chart to manage the trade and get out of a trade if I don't like what I'm seeing it doing, or if I feel like it's trying to reverse on me. But that's a lesson for another day. So let me pause real quick. My dog is telling me he wants to go outside. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So on this trade, I have TradingView here kind of in replay mode. What we have is a nice little uptrend going on the 15-minute chart. A real nice run up, pullback, kind of a base, and then a run up again. And on the 5-minute chart here, you see the same thing. Obviously, you get a little more detail. All right, so what do I see? 15-minute, I'm looking to go long as of now. We'll go ahead and play the replay. All right, sorry, I kind of had to start over here with the computer giving me a little trouble today. All right, so here we are. We talked about the uptrend. We're trending down. Really don't like that. But we're at this area. Let me zoom in. These areas here on the 15-minute that I'm interested in. You got this nice accumulation here that you could call a demand zone. And then you also got a little bit bigger demand zone there. So I'm interested in those areas. Price is going to go. All right. So I'm kind of looking for what's going to happen in this area first, but it immediately breaks through that. So I'm still interested. I'm just kind of more interested now in this area as a whole. Oop. And then boom, let me pause that. You get a very nice reaction back on the 5-minute. Remember, I'm looking to trade 5-minute setups into the 15-minute trend. Okay, this you get a nice drop. You get essentially a triple bottom, and then you get a run up that takes out 2 or 3 of these lower highs. Beautiful. For you fair value gap fans, you get a beautiful fair value gap right here. And yeah, this is a really nice initial setup. So I'm going to take my box off of the 15-minute, and I'm going to look here on the 5-minute. I'm looking for a demand zone here on the 5-minute. And I will draw my demand zone there. Now, there's a lot of debate amongst people, preferences, etc., about how you draw supply and demand zones, or what order block groups that you can box off and highlight as your trade zones. I can explain to you guys how I do it in a little bit of a different video, but because I'm not entering on pending orders like a lot of folks teach you, I'm entering on lower time frame confirmations. I'm okay with having a little bit of a bigger box, a little bit of a bigger supply zone, demand zone, whatever. Some people will teach you to use the very, very last candle. Some people will teach you to use wicks. Don't use wicks. Only use the opposing wicks. However you want to draw your proximal and distal lines does not matter to me. I'll teach you how I do it in another video. But the point is that you identify those areas that you want to trade from. Here's one that I chose this morning to want to trade from. Now we'll hit play. And we'll wait for price to come back on the lower time frame now. Boom. And here, let me back it up just a little bit. Well, no, I'll just throw it on there. This was my entry. My entry was somewhere in this neighborhood. Stops just below the low. Took the trade, I think, to there on the 15-minute chart. Gives you a nice 2.5 to 1 risk to reward. And then hit play. Oh no, it's going to go against me. Nah, don't worry. I win, take profit hit. And I left a lot of money on the table there. But that's okay. I don't focus on catching every single pip. You don't need to catch every pip. So a little nugget in this trade review is going to be, you got to decide what kind of trader you want to be and what's good for your mental health, your psychology of the market. Me, I need a higher win rate to keep my mental health proper. Some people are okay losing 4, 5, 6, 7 trades in a row and then hitting a home run and getting all their profit. My brain doesn't work that way. So my average trade is 1.5 probably RR. So a good trade's 2 to 2.5. I'll take a 1R on occasion, but I like to see about 1.5. And there you go. So there you see in a relatively short time. So we'll come here. So we'll mark my entry. Let's do it this way. I got in somewhere around that candle. And then this was a long trade for me. So you got on the 15-minute chart, you got, or here, I'll go ahead and 5. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. About 16 candles. They're on the 5-minute chart. So 16, what is that? That's about an hour and 20 minutes or so. And that's a longer than normal trade for me. So there you have it. Our first trade review here on the Liquidity channel. I'll be posting these regularly. I'll try to post them more in real time as time goes forward. And yeah, it's been nice speaking with you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you maybe learn something about using time frames, and we'll get into that a little more as well as to why I choose the time frames. Y'all have a great day.